Vikas, per se, as I was trying to say, is the founder of HR Association India. He's also the founder and president of What's Consulting. He's the head of, there's a long list of whatever he has achieved in the past. So I will leave that to Mr. Vikas to start talking about himself and start sharing his presentation, which is entitled Leading in VUCA COVID World, the Way This Way.
Yeah, so my topic for today, leading in the VUCA world, Veda's way. Why Veda's way? Because today we are in a historical time. And when we are in a historical time, I thought, what could be a better way of learning from it than the history itself? And if we have to learn from history, why not to the oldest one? So what all oldest tools and techniques, time proven, who survived in the evolution, they are available to us to deal in today's VUCA world. And maybe I should call it VUCA COVID world. Now it is VUCA C world. So I would start with establishing an understanding about VUCA world. What exactly is VUCA, where we are, and now what is the way forward, especially for the leaders. Now, future has arrived. In all the HR conferences and other programs I used to visit, we used to talk about future. But now, suddenly, we are in the future. So now future has arrived. We can see whatever we used to talk about, we are already there. So what is future? Where we are now? What is present? So this is a small infographic that tells us about what happens on internet every 60 seconds. So this is future now, which is present now. Every 60 seconds, this is something that happens on the internet. So if I have to take few examples, 1 million views on Twitter, 4.5 million views on YouTube, and 87,500 people tweeting per second. So this is what happens on internet today. So when we talk about VUCA world, uncertainty, so these are the external factors. These are all external factors which help us deal with VUCA, and also they add into the VUCA part of it. So we need to understand where we are. Now we're talking about AI. So today, global AI market, 1.4 billion. This was 2016. And now we estimate 2025, it will be 60 billion AI market. The division of labor between humans, machines, now is shifting towards AI. And after the COVID, it will shift more rapidly. So this is the kind of world where we are. And it was estimated before the COVID that by 2025, that it will shift 48% humans and 52% machines or algorithms. But now after COVID, it will be much more towards machines and algorithms. So if we have to study 5,000 years of human progress, so this is how we will put it in a graph, in a curve. Almost, if I start before 5,000 years, almost say 500 years, we got fire. Another 1,200 years, wheels. Another 2,000 years, steam engine. So this is the time lag. This was the time we used to take to move from one big invention to another. After steam engine, I would say another 200 to 1,500 years, we came to electricity. Now the thing changed. Then computer, telecom, and now we are at a point at the convergence of cyber, physical, and biospace. So now the speed of change itself has increased. We are not talking about velocity, we are now talking about acceleration. So based on past experiences, how things will change. So if we have this curve here, the trajectory based on past growth rate, so ideally what should happen is, after some time in the future, any future date, we should reach at point A. Ideally, we should reach point A based on previous data. So now today, when we talk about data analytics and we want to analyze based on past data, that is bound to be wrong because the speed of change itself has increased. So instead of point A, we are not even reaching at point B. So point B is, if we consider changes happened in the past. So even if we consider velocity or acceleration, we cannot predict the future. So that's the kind of VUCA we are into. And we will reach somewhere point C. So that is unknown. Nobody knows where it is. If we talk about industrial revolution, that multiplied our physical capacity. The digital revolution multiplied our mental capacity and social capacity. For example, 1995, 80 million phone users. 2017, 4.5 billion phone users. 2021, 6.1 billion. And I'm sure you must be aware of how many people are on online markets in India, 8 to 10%. And that's why all these deals, Reliance, Facebook, Google, everybody wants to take a pie, share from this pie. Price of 1 GB data. This is interesting. Price of 1 GB data, 1960, $10 million. 29 cents, 2015, free. And maybe after some time, there will be some innovation with the help of right advertisements. Maybe we'll be paid to consume data, to consume content. Number it took for each product to gain 50 million users. Let's start with airlines. 68 years to gain 50 million users. Twitter, 2 years, and Pokemon, 19 days. I don't think I have data for TikTok, or there are alternatives in India, whatever has happened in past 1 month. So I'm sure we should have some better statistics also somewhere. Now, here we are. And what is the way forward? Futures in VUCA world. Now in this situation where we are, what we need to do as leaders? What are the way outs, tools, technologies, methods available to us? Now we need to launch a new version of us, Me 2.0. The skills will not work because the skills we need, they keep changing very fast. Shelf life of tools, technologies, methods, and especially the knowledge has been mitigated very drastically. So whatever skills we install on ourselves, if we are a program, whatever skills we install on ourselves, they become obsolete very fast. So now today is the time where we need to work on not only skills or apps, but also on operating system. We need a different kind of operating system where it is agile, it is very fast to install, uninstall different skills on demand whenever required. So that is what we call learn, unlearn, relearn. So that kind of operating system, bent of mind, thinking process we require today. And this would be slide for my presentation. Now, not only to survive, but to thrive, what we need to do in the VUCA world, what exactly we need to do. So let's start understanding the VUCA itself. So there are two parameters. If I have to make a 2x2 matrix, there are two parameters, I believe, to define VUCA. One parameter is our awareness of the environment. What kind of environment I am into? What is happening around me? What time it is? What are the incidents and events happening around me, good and bad? So how much aware I am about the environment? Second, now in this new or changing environment, whatever actions I am taking, how much predictable the results of the impacts of those actions are. So on the one way, environment is changing. Second, when I try to adapt, how much predictable my adaptability is. So based on these two criteria, we can divide VUCA itself. So let's start with V only, volatility. So volatility is when my awareness of the environment is, I understand the environment, I understand the impact of my actions in this environment. So this is a comparatively easy position for me where everything is in my control. That is volatility. That is frequent, rapid, and significant changes. So I am confronted only with the changes. And with the changes, I also need to change. And that is comparatively easy for me because I know the result of my actions. So there is that reverse integration. So with a change in environment, I can change my approach. and I can get the desired results because I know that what results will come in with any of my change in my actions. That is volatility. Second, let's come to uncertainty. So in uncertainty, again, my awareness of the environment is high. I understand my environment, but I am not able to predict the impact of my actions. Now, I don't know what would happen. I know what is the change, what is happening. I am aware of that. But what I cannot do is I cannot predict, or I don't have a GPS in my hand, whether I'm going in the right direction. So that is a problem. So that's why I call it uncertainty. That's uncertainty. So unpredictable events and outcomes, not only events and even outcomes. I cannot predict what will happen, what events and outcomes will arise out of my actions. So that is uncertainty. Complexity. Now, complexity starts when I am not aware of my environment itself. That is complexity. Multiplicity of issues, factors, or in chaos is there. I cannot figure out anything, but fortunately here, I can predict the impact of my actions. So I do not understand the environment, but I can predict the impact. So this is like a conundrum. This is a puzzle. I need to solve it. I need to solve this puzzle where I do not know the environment, the situation, but at least I can predict where my efforts would lead to. That is complexity. And the worst case scenario comes when there is ambiguity. I do not understand environment and I do not know what results will come to what efforts. So that is ambiguity. That is lack of clarity and understanding. So today maybe we are into a part of the VUCA, ambiguity. We do not understand what is happening around us. This is the first time we are facing, maybe the mankind is facing something like this. And especially if we combine with the impact on economy, and we do not know what to do. And we also do not know that if we do something, what will be the result? Different countries tackled the COVID situation differently. Some laid impetus to the economy. Some countries were more focused on people, but what actually is working, nobody knows till now. That is ambiguity. So this actually is VUCA situation. So we talk about VUCA, but if we have to bifurcate VUCA into 4 different boxes based on some parameters. So I figured out there are 2 important parameters. One is our awareness about the environment and how much validity we have in predicting our results based on the actions we will take. So here we are. The Vedic approach to deal with it. Now, how to deal with this situation? The Vedas provide us with actionable tools to understand and successfully sail through VUCA world. Now, I'll take you through all these 4 boxes based on Vedic approach, that what tools and technologies we have available in our hand to sail through these 4. Let's start with the first one. I'm sure many of us have heard this phrase, Aham Brahmasmi. I am the Brahma. So this is from Yajurveda. This is from Yajurveda, and if we have to summarize Yajurveda in one sentence, this is the sentence. It is called Mahavakya. This is a sentence where we summarize the Yajurveda. Aham Brahmasmi. Who is the Brahma? Brahma is the creator. So, and if you see the definition of the creator or the God, that exactly resembles the definition of energy. You go by second law of thermodynamics. You go by Joule law of creation of energy. What is energy? Energy is something that everything is made up of energy. You cannot destroy, create energy. You can only change the form of energy. So changing form is innovation. And that is something that we need to do. We need to understand we are the ultimate creators. We need to create because volatility is there. Now I'm talking about volatility. So when there are frequent and rapid and significant changes, so to meet with the changes, to keep pace with the changes, we need to regularly innovate along with the changes, innovate and improvise and also create. So we need to work as a creator and we need to follow a PDCA cycle where we perform, where we plan, we do, and we check and we act, and we are continuously in a Kaizen process to keep our pace with the volatility. So to deal with volatility, when we understand the environment and we know what results will come due to which actions, the approach is Aham Brahmasmi. We innovate, we improvise, we create. So new tools and technologies. So we have seen that even in this today's time, there are many organizations who are innovating. They are coming up with different ways of empowering and empowering their employees, maintaining the performance. So this is what is required when volatility is there. Innovation. Second, uncertainty. For uncertainty, there is another Mahavakya, another sentence, Pragyanam Brahma. So I'll show you all four. So we discussed volatility. Now we come to uncertainty, right? So uncertainty is a situation where unpredictable events and outcomes are happening. I do not understand the environment. I'm not certain what kind of environment I'm into, but I can always find out what actions will bring what results. So for that, second sentence Mahavakya from another Veda. So this is from Samveda, Tattvam Asi. That is you. It means that is you. So in first sentence, I understood I am the creator. I can create, I can innovate. But that is possible when I have to work individually, solely. But that is volatility. That is a situation where I can predict the results of my actions. But if I cannot predict the results, I need more actions to be taken, because now it is a hit and trial situation. I need more and more hits to be taken to find out what works. For that, I require help from assistance from my team. And here I need to empower my team. So that comes from Samveda, Tattvam Asi, that is you. So first I understand I am the Brahma, I am the creator. Now I need to understand that is you. You are also creator. I also need to empower my team members, even my customers. And I need to make them understand Aham Brahmasmi, that it is you who has to create. So that involves empowering my employees, engaging them, and entrusting them with their responsibilities. So if I want, I can relate them with empowering is something. If I empower my employees, they start taking ownership of the work. So once you start taking ownership, that comes with the empowerment. If I want them to take the responsibility of the work, which is more limited version of ownership, more focused part of ownership, responsibility, then I need to engage them. Engaged employees always take responsibility. But now in today's time, when I want my employees to take the accountability, to assume a position where they think they are the people where the buck stops, then I need to entrust them with after empowering and engaging. So when I follow this second Mahavakya, Tattvam Asi from Samveda, I empower, engage, and entrust my people, including customers, so that they take ownership, responsibility, and accountability of their roles. Next, I go to complexity. So here in complexity, the situation comes where I am not aware about the environment itself, though I know, I can figure out if I take some action, what the results would be. So again, if I do not know about the environment, I need to enrich myself. I need to enrich myself and educate myself on new tools and technologies. So for that, there is a third Mahavakya. This is from Rig Veda, Pragyanam Brahma. If I need to summarize Rig Veda in one sentence, that is Pragyanam Brahma. That is Pragyan, that is knowledge that creates. So I create along with my team member. I tell them, you are also Brahma, you also create, but together what we need is knowledge, how to create. So that is Pragyanam Brahma. For that, I need to educate myself, my team, and my customers. I need to educate them first. Second, I need to invest in myself. So that is very important. I need to understand I'm a product, I'm a brand, and I'm selling myself in the market. If I want to do good, if I want to sell myself at a better price, I have to be a better product with a better packaging. And for that, I need to invest in myself. I need to invest four parameters into myself. TEEM, team, time, energy, effort, and money. I need to invest time, energy, effort, and money in myself. If I invest in myself, that would be the best investment I'll ever make. And if I don't invest in myself, nobody else will. That's something I need to remember all the time. Learn, unlearn, relearn, lifelong learning, everything stems from here. that invest in yourself. And out of these 4 parameters, time, energy, effort, and money, I find time to be the most important one. So that I'll check time also. I'm not taking more than required. No, I think I can take 5-6 minutes more. So time I find most important, because out of these 4, time is the perishable inventory. I cannot store time. I can store energy, effort I can make later, and money I can store. I cannot store time. So time is most important inventory. I cannot let that time just slip away from my hand. So I need to invest my time into myself as well. So a lot of us think about and want to go for time management. But we need to understand that time management, whenever I talk about time management or managing the time, I'm giving this false notion to my brain that I want to manage something outside, which is actually not possible, because the quantum of time is fixed. It is 24 hours per day. The speed of time is constant. That is 60 minutes per hour. Nobody can manage time. Anybody in the world, the greatest people who have achieved anything, they have achieved within this quantum of time passing through the same constant speed. So it is not about time management, it is about self-management. I need to manage myself within that given time. So once I start thinking about self-management, then I tell myself, there is nothing, something outside of me which I have to manage. I got to manage myself within the given time. So I call it time intelligence. I need to be time intelligent. We have talked about a lot of intelligence, IQ, EQ. I believe most important intelligence is time intelligence, because if I'm time intelligent, then I invest my time in a right way to acquire all other kind of intelligences. And I coined this term, time intelligence, from, you must have heard Vinash Kale Viprita Buddhi. This is from Ramayana. And today I think is an apt time to give some quotation from Ramayana. So Vinash Kale Viprit Buddhi. Kal, Samay, time. Kal is time, and Buddhi is intelligence. So that is time intelligence. It comes from there, time intelligence. Vinash Kale Viprit Buddhi. And it was about, in Ramayana, it was about, no, not Ravana. It was about Ram. न निर्मिता केन दिष्ट पूर्व न श्रुते हिममय कुरंग तथापि तीक्ष्ण रघुनंदनस्य विनाश काले विपरीत बुद्धि. Nobody ever made a golden deer, but still Lord Ram went after it, because vinash kale vipreet buddhi. So time intelligence is important. And again, we find this reference time intelligence in Mahabharata also. Samayo karoti balabalam prani gadanti sharina. How you utilize your time gives you different kind of powers. Bal abalam, different kind of powers. It can be money, it can be wisdom, it can be physical power, whatever kind of power you require. It comes with how you use your time. If we do not use our time in the right way, then you might be Bhim watching tensions and all other Pandavas, whatever they used to do during that time. Last, in the Pragyanam Brahm complexity part, now once I understand, I need to educate myself, my team, and my customers. I need to cascade this knowledge. Whatever I have learned till now, Am Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, Pragyanam Brahma, I need to cascade this knowledge to others, to my team members. And this is what is one of the most important aspect of a true leader. And if you ask what is the biggest difference between a leader and a manager, one of the biggest difference after vision is that they cascade leaders, they develop leaders, they create more apostles, they create more leaders. So after I understand this, the knowledge part, in the end of the knowledge part, when I am through with everything, I need to cascade this knowledge. I need more people who believe in this vision. Last and most important part is ambiguity, where I do not know about environment and I do not know the results of my actions. Now, to deal with it, the last Veda, that is Atharva Veda, says, I am Atma Brahma. Atma, that is Brahma. Atma creates. Now, again, this is Mahavakya. If I have to summarize Atharva Veda in one sentence, actually, I'm saying I have to summarize. So these 4 Mahavakyas were given by, in the history, Hindu history, by Lord Shiva. He summarized 4 Vedas in these 4 Vakyas. These are 4 Mahavakyas given by Lord Shiva, not me. So I am Atma Brahma. Now, what is the nature of Atma or soul? What is the nature of soul? So whatever is the nature of soul, if I adapt myself to that, then I can deal with ambiguity. So that is I need transparency, I need truthfulness. with my customers, all stakeholders, internal and external customers. If everybody understands ambiguity, wherever there is ambiguous situation, everybody understands. Today we are, even my company, we are dealing with a lot of clients. They come to us and they tell that due to COVID situation, we will not be able to pay this much. And we also say, we understand. At the same time, we also need something to keep our associates in the surviving mode. So when we understand, when there is a transparency, then the results come. So I need to be transparent and truthful with my all stakeholders. That is the most important aspect required to deal with the ambiguous situation. Second, relentless efforts. So now how that comes, relentless efforts. So if you see the definition of soul, what is a soul? What is the definition of soul? So I think the best definition of Atma or soul comes from Gita. So as the Lord Krishna says, Nanam chidanti shastrani, nanam dahati pavaka, na chenam keledenta, pone shoshati maruta. You cannot destroy it. You cannot change it. You cannot do anything with it. It is how it is. So that is a character. That is character. You cannot change it. So, and to achieve what has to be achieved, that soul goes into different bodies to achieve what has to be achieved. So that efforts had to be relentless. You need to come up with new strategies, new plans, new structures every time, and relentless efforts unless you achieve what you have to achieve. So like soul, keep changing whatever has to be changed and keep your efforts relentless. So once we are transparent, once we are truthful with the stakeholders, that is the best strategy that helps in dealing with the ambiguous situation. So this was about VUCA, how we deal with VUCA, the Vedas way. And in the last one slide more, I will like to show that is on what we need to remember. This is for leaders, all the leaders. What you need to remember today is Amantram aksharam nasti, nasti mool manoshadham, ayogya purusho nasti, yojak satra durlava. There is no sound that is not a mantra. There is no sound that cannot create impact. Whatever you say, even you think, that creates impact on others, on you, and on everybody. So whatever you think, whatever you believe, whatever you say, that creates impact. No sound that is not a mantra. No plant that is not a medicine. And today we have learned that in a hard way in past 3 months. There is no plant that is not medicine. There is no person unworthy. This is important for us, friends. There is no person who is unworthy. What is hard to find is an enabler, a leader who can find that ableness, who can find what anybody can do. So if we are kind of leader, we can take care of not only ourselves, but only we work as an enabler based on these 4 Mahavakyas, then only we are true leaders. So I was allotted 20 minutes. I think I'm doing justice with it. And I would have loved to speak more on it, but maybe somewhere next time. And if there is something you like to discuss, ask, say, or add value, which I can share in the next time, you are most welcome. My email ID is there. You can send me, and I would love to add more and more knowledge in the sessions with your help. Thank you, everybody. Best of luck. Take good care of yourself and your family.
Thank you very much, Vikas.